Alright folks, about to see this video on how I made this brisket. It's a cheap old Walmart brisket. Probably the worst one I ever bought from Walmart, but hey, there was only two to choose from. I bought it. Saved me a 150-mile round trip to go to a Hy-Vee store, Sam's Club, Costco. Anyway, what I'm trying to say is I did a 3-step cook on this. Low and slow, 225 for 4 hours. Hot and fast at 300. Tried to render that fat down a little bit. Then I wrapped it, put it in the warming box for 24 hours, and here we are now, about ready to unveil this. You'll see the unveil at the end of this video, but first I want to say, hey, if you want your friends to come over to the playoff game, watch Super Bowl, you go to their house, you ask them to come on over, and you say you're going to barbecue up a chuck roast. This is what you get right here, folks. Alright folks, that's why I always try to do a brisket when I got buddies over. Chuck roast, just don't bring the crowd to the house. Chuck roast fine if it's just you and the wife. Quick supper, yeah, that's okay. But anyways, enough talking, on with the video. I'll see you at the end. Alright guys, we're at the Tahoma 900. We got it's a half a canister of charcoal. We're going to do this whole smoke. It's going to be a 3-step smoke, if I haven't already explained that. Low and slow, 4 or 5 hours. Then hot and fast at 300 degrees. We're going to try to render that fat down as best we can. I'll try to explain that throughout the video. Alright, we're going to do a mixture of hickory, apple, mesquite, wood, along with some Kingsford blue charcoal. Combination of it all. Try to do 50-50. The Tahoma 900, you cannot sleep on it. You cannot let it go for hours without checking it. So I'm going to come out every 2 hours and stir the fire up and add wood, more charcoal, more wood, more charcoal. And that is like that. Alright? I won't bring you back for every half hour, but I will bring you back around the 4-hour mark. Alright? Let me see what I got going here, folks. I got some hickory wood chunks, some 3 big ones in the bottom. Get that going. I got a half a canister of Kingsford Blue. I'm going to dump that in right now, folks. Hang on. It's hot. We're going to run at 225. The lowest setting that the Tahoma has. It's 16 below zero out here, folks. I hope the Tahoma starts. So we're going to start it off at 225. Alright. Hopefully the fan will kick on. So we'll go from there. We'll leave the lid open. Pound on the fan, sometimes it's cold, it gets stuck. Alright, now we're going to take some of these apple chunks. Oh, I better shut the door or the fan won't come on. Cold out here, folks, forgive me, I'm frozen. Alright, we're going to just throw in some chunks, small, big, not too many. You're going to definitely plug it up. And if you ever plugged up the Tahoma 900 and let the fire go out, you know what a pain in the butt that is to get going. Alright, a little bit of everything in there. And we're going to add a little bit more charcoal. Charcoal frozen, it's got white on it, white frost on it. I'm already at a disadvantage. We got some mesquite. Throw some of that in there. Alright, so I'm going to watch this machine like a hawk. Alright, everything closed up. Woo! Is it cold out here, folks? Woo. We're at 32 degrees now, warming up now. Alright, let's leave the camera roll. See if that fan comes on, folks. I'll try to talk a little bit. Might play some music. We got contact. The fan kicked on. Okay, I think we're safe to go back in the house and go get that brisket, folks. I'm going to shut this lid. Now, if you own a Tahoma 900, you definitely got to put a stack on it, folks. Definitely get the old offset wood flavor going. Get that nice air draw. You don't get that with any type of a master built cooker. They got the side draft. That's not good for good smoke flavor. I love master built combination, but if you want a good offset smoker out of a gravity fed, you got to get the Tahoma 900, folks. Okay, let's go get that brisket. We'll be right back. Alright guys, I got me probably one of the worst briskets I ever found at Walmart. They only had two, and I got it. It's kind of a skinny, short one. Probably weighs in about 11 pounds now after my basic trimming. Got a super large fat seam through here. Yeah, this is not the greatest brisket. Where I live though, you can't be choosers, can't be beggars, and beggars can't be choosers. But anyway, we're gonna do the best we can with this brisket. We're gonna do the 3-step, low and slow, hot and fast, and a hot hold. Alright, we're gonna use some type of binder because I don't want none of that salt. We're gonna do a little extra salt on this. We're gonna do the Arby's horsey sauce. I just happen to have it in the refrigerator. Little horseradish salt. Mainly to keep that extra salt from rolling off when we're tossing this around. You can use water if you want, but you know, I like to do my brisket's different all the time. So I never use an Arby's horsey sauce on a brisket or anything, other than that pulled beef sandwich, which is really good. I'll try to leave that link down below. I think it's got a big seam here, and the butcher really massacred this one. I did the best I could trimming it. Simple backyard trim. Alright, we're gonna go fat side up, so let's do this side first. We're gonna start with some just plain old McCormick's coarse ground pepper. We used this forever in the backyard. Way before the 16 mesh came out. We're using the old McCormick. Or we were grinding our own. Whew, that got some good peppery flavor there, folks. Yeah. Like I say, we're gonna go fat side down. I got some granulated garlic I forgot to open up. What's with this granulated garlic prices, folks? I paid 14 bucks for this cheap Walmart one. They didn't have no McCormick's one. I wonder what that would cost you. Alright, we'll do a little bit on there. Okay, like I said, we're gonna go fat side up today on the Tahoma 900. Now, this is where we're gonna get a little bit of heavy stuff. Where's my, hang on folks, I gotta find my shaker. Alright folks, I got my shaker. I got about a half a cup or so of kosher salt in there. We're gonna do a little extra heavy on the salt. Normally I go half and half, 50-50 salt, pepper. What I'm gonna try to do, get whatever fat's on this brisket to render down at that higher temperature. Alright. Don't worry, we'll get the sides. Alright, now we go with the coarse black pepper. Big, thick piece of meat here. It's really thick on the end though, folks. I was surprised. But other than that, it was usually Walmart has good briskets, you'd be surprised. Now the flat here is really thick. That I like. We'll get a little bit on the sides here. We're going to swap the board though, so hang on. Alright. And then the old garlic. Eyeballing that. Now with that kosher salt, remember we're going to go heavy on the salt. So we want that fat to render down. Get that nice yellow fat, salty, bacony tasting fat. Like that. I'd say we're going to mop this board up with the sides. Like that. Nothing in the backyard here goes to waste, folks. Alright, now, how's this side look? We're going to do a little bit more of that fat seam that's in here. We're going to try to render as much of that out as we can. So what I want to do is when I slice it, and that whatever fat's still on there is going to be salty goodness. Salty, peppery, garlicky goodness. I hope. That's my plan. Alright, we'll do a little bit more pepper. You can never have too much pepper with my Texas roots, folks. That's about all my pepper. Don't worry, I got another thing. More salt. Salty, salty, salty. Get some more salt down on that fat cap there. Alright. That should be plenty of salt, I hope. Plenty of pepper. Alright, I got the Tahoma fired up at 225 degrees. The mixture of about 50-50 wood charcoal, all different types of wood. Mesquite, apple, hickory. It's very cold, dress warm, about 16 below zero. We'll see you outside, folks. Alright, folks, here we are at the Tahoma 900. I'm trying to love this pit, but it's giving me issues. Alright, remember the hot spot on my Tahoma is back here in the corner. I got a pan. By the time I went in and got that brisket and came out, the fire was out for some reason. Now that had to do with maybe with some charcoal. Oh, the pan will fit under there. And see. I made this grate myself, folks, to slide out. And hang on, folks, technical difficulty. Ooh, that's hot too, folks. Brisket out, pan in. I want to render some fat down, put some water in this pan. Yeah. Now, let's see if it'll go in. We'll work with the sliders. There we go. Pan in first, folks. There we go. Now it's in, folks. Hey, this is live TV right here. I don't edit nothing out. Scotty's backyard barbecue at its finest. My charcoal stir. I'm coming out here in 15 minutes now. It's every half hour. Could be because my charcoal was ice cold too, folks. 16 below zero. So I got some warm charcoal in the house I'm going to get right now. Okay, we're going to let this roll. That big fat seam right there. We're going to try to render that out too. I'm going to come back, add some water to that. Alright. Let's bring you back in 2 hours for an update in this cold weather. Okay, folks? Alright guys, I told you I'd come out about 2 hours right now. It's been about 2.5 hours. Been chugging along pretty good at 225, 250, somewhere in there. 50-50 wood. You see the fat starting to render in there, folks? See that? Ugh! Hang on, my camera's frozen. There we go. So let's zoom on fat rendering. That big old fat thing right there. Yeah, keep bubbling away. Don't want to lose a lot of heat. It's 16 below zero, folks. Alright, looking good. We got a nice bark on there. Start spritzing there pretty soon. Alright, one more hour, it'll be the 4 hour mark. Alright guys, we're going to, whoa, that thing's looking beautiful for the Tahoma 900. We're going to pull this out somehow without burning ourselves. I should have brought my gloves, but I didn't. We're going to mop it. We're going to mop this bad boy with some apple cider vinegar and apple juice I stole from my granddaughter. Beautiful bark on there, folks. All that pepper, all that salt, that garlic. Fat sides up. Remember, fat side up, fat side down starts a lot of fights in the barbecue world. Look at that, sucking that stuff right up, folks. Ah. Looking good. Looking good. Remember, don't use cold apple juice, apple cider. Cold out here, folks. Keep it warm. Push this back in. I am monitoring the temperature with the ThermoPro on both sides. Got the ThermoPro inside. Right now we're at an internal temperature of about 100 and... oh, I don't bring that one out. Should be about 125. Alright, folks. So far the Tahoma 900's chug along. I ain't gonna lie to you though. It took about an hour to settle down. And now we're just mixing it up with wood, charcoal. Alright, see you back here in about 2 hours, folks. Or until it hits 100 is, oh, let's go 150, internal 165, and then we'll wrap it up in butcher paper. Alright guys, it's been 4 hours. Now it's time to mop it one more time. With smoky in here, folks. I would tell you the internal temperature, but I don't know what it is. I've been outside and the gauge has been inside. But anyway, I know it's been 4 hours, so that's when I said we're going to crank it up to 300. So let's crank her up. to 300. So far, I do not recommend doing all wood chunks unless you make them super duper small. Same size as your charcoal, maybe smaller. I've been fighting this thing all day, folks. The fire only went out twice on me. Once at the beginning and once a little while ago. Other than that, the brisket's looking good. Got a nice color. Bark's good. Alright. Plenty of smoke coming out of her though. Okay. We're going to crank her up to 300 and we'll be right back. Let's go about an hour and a half, or until the internal temperature is about 165. We'll wrap it up in some butcher paper. Alright guys, without struggle, we were at a internal temperature of 165. Boy, that baby looking good, folks. Look at that. Rendering down fats, you know, the fat rendering down really good. Looking good. Remember the 3-step method. Low smoke, 225 for 4 hours. We kicked it up to 300 until it hit the 165, 170. I'm going to pull it out. I'm going to bring it over here to butcher paper, and we're going to wrap it up. I'll play a little music while I'm wrapping, so you don't have to hear me talking. Hang on, folks. Your basic wrap, nothing fancy. Cover it up, put it back in the smoke. Okay, back in the smoker. Let's check it out. There we are. Got the probe. Got the smoker in. Everything's going good. We're going to run it up to 195 internal temperature. I'm going to bring it in the house, put it in the hot box. Alright, probably see you inside the house because it's brutal cold out here, folks. Alright guys, I knew I'd see you at the end of this video. The world's smallest Walmart brisket. Hey, you know, beggar can't be chooser, folks. Hot held it. Low and slow, 4 hours. Hot and fast, 300. Till it hit 170, 165. Wrapped it, hot held it, 24 hours, and here we are. Look at this, bark's insane, folks. Alright. Got a few guests over tonight for the football game. Let's see what we got here, folks. Not expecting much out of this thing, but let's see. Not be much of a money shot. What we got, folks? Oh, not too bad. I've done worse in my days. Hey, that's my granddaughter. Whoa, look at that juice. Granddaughter said, "You did it, Grandpa." Alright. We'll make a few burn-ins out of this one. We're going to do this one here. And that in, we're going to throw that into the burnt-in pile, folks. A few burn-ins for the gas. I'll throw them back in the oven. Alright, we get that over here. Let's see what we got here. I wanted that fat to render down. I think we did it. Had that big fat seam in the middle, folks. Got a little puddling right here in the top. Boy, this thing's like jello, folks. That bark is crunchy to get whole. Alright, let's see what we did. The old 900. Got that beautiful smoke ring, folks. Boy, this smells smoky, though. Ooh, yeah. Yeah, they got that fat rendered down pretty good. It's pretty much gone. Got that nice yellow. I'm looking for that salty, peppery. Remember we put that extra salt on there? That's what I want. I want my guests to taste that extra salt. Let's try it. Salty, peppery, garlicky. That's everything you want in your rub, folks. I'll put that there. I'll eat that one there. Not bad, folks. That good peppery flavor. Salty, that's good. Like I say, we're gonna Cut these a little thicker, make these in burnt in. Oh yeah, beautiful. Granddaughter loves it. Oh yeah, we got a little more table here. Oh, that bark is insane, folks. Crunchy, salty, garlicky. All right, let's try that. Yeah, all that fat, that big fat seam, pretty much gone, folks. We melted that right away. Look how juicy that is. Oh, that's awesome. Don't sleep on a Walmart brisket. It may be small and ugly. They sure are good. Let's take a bite out of this one. Those will be mine. Alright. Okay, well, there you have it. Low and slow 4 hours. Hot and fast. Go get that fat to render. The beautiful smoked flavor. Almost tastes like it came off the old offset, folks. The Holman 900 is about as close as you're going to get to an offset. Put that stack on there. Get that nice air draw. You don't get that from a Masterbuilt. They don't have the stack. So it takes longer for that smoke to get out of the smoke chamber, out of the food chamber. It likes to circle around. Remember, you want that smoke to go through, kiss the meat on its way out. That's what the 900 does. It doesn't sit there and circle around. Alright. I'm going to toss these in pans for the gas for some bird ends and some barbecue sauce. We're going to let them nibble on these things. There you have it, folks. Another different way to make a brisket from Scotty's Backyard Barbecue. Peace out, folks.